All right. Let's see who's on this call. Welcome everybody to this wonderful webinar we're going to be doing today. If you're here, say hello in the chat system. Let us know that you're here. While we're waiting for everybody else to jump on, it's going to be a lot of fun. Richard, what's going on? Thank you for attending, my friend. And I see some people in here. Rebecca, Dale, Brett. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're here in the chat. Let everybody know you're here. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to be talking about marketing, lead generation, which is a huge deal, right? Which is what everybody's on here for, is to figure out how and what we need to do to generate more leads for your business. This is going to be a lot of fun. How am I, Richard? I'm doing great. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I love webinars. I love teaching. I'm excited to get this party started. So the time is 2:02. Going to get my slide up here so we can get this ball rolling. Now, unfortunately, I know Wendy's been reaching out to a lot of you. She's not feeling well today, but she will be on our next webinar. But she says hello. All righty. Well, just to get this ball rolling here, my name is Brian, and I am the Vice President of Advent Trinity Marketing Agency. Many of you know me personally. Some of you don't. Some of you are new. Just a little bit about us, what we do. Our vision is to change the world through innovation, inspire businesses to grow. And man, we do need a lot of innovation nowadays, don't we? With the world changing on a consistent basis, with everything changing, there's and everybody thinking that COVID's going away, and it's just kind of like this back and forth thing. What do we do, right? What do we do to continue to keep surviving, and how do we keep on pushing forward to thrive our business, to push our business forward? So if you haven't heard already, we have started a podcast. So some of the content that you'll see in this webinar is on that podcast. It is on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's called Market It with Atma. Okay, so I'm actually going to put that in the chat here. So if you're ever on Spotify, if you're ever on Apple Podcasts, check us out. It's a lot of fun. I have some really good content on there. Talk about everything business, not just marketing. But we are going to talk about setting up a business. We'll have featured speakers. So if you're interested about becoming a featured speaker too, let us know. Contact us. Go through the website, contact us, and let us know if you're wanting to be a featured speaker on one of our podcast shows. Awesome. So the time is 2:04. I'm going to go ahead and get this party started, and I'm going to talk about how to 10 times your leads. So everybody's wondering what this is all about. There isn't some sort of every business is different. Just know that those that are on this webinar. So today you're going to get some of the tips, tools, and strategies you need to do so. But it's going to be in your hands to figure out exactly how to use these tips, tools, and strategies we're going to give you to 10 times your leads. All right. Now, let's get started. So what we're going to learn in this webinar is how to build a winning website design or landing page, right? A lot of people have just landing pages, which is okay. But what does it take to have a winning website that's going to convert? Because that's the most important thing is what are we going to say on this website, or what are we going to say on this landing page that's going to help us convert this traffic that you're about to push to this website or landing page to fill out the form, to call, to do some sort of interaction with your business. We're also going to talk about using your CRM to the fullest. Okay, if you don't have a customer relationship management system, is what it's called, you should get one. if you don't have one already, but really understanding how to optimize that, not on your end as the operations, but on the website's end to capture that information. And then we're also going to talk about running ad strategies, which is probably the most important thing. It's probably going to take up the most of this webinar, is running ad strategies, driving traffic, and then finally, how to budget for success. All right. So let's talk about the 3 pillars of sales and marketing. And if you were in our last webinar, thank you for joining us in this webinar. You'll start to see some of that same content in this webinar. And the reason why is because, once again, marketing is about consistency, and teaching is also about consistency, right? So once you understand, okay, these are the 3 things that my businesses need to be successful in sales and marketing. Number 1 is lead generation, right? Which is what we're talking about today. Number 2 is conversions. And number 3 is margins. Okay. So if you talk about those 3 pillars of sales and marketing, we kind of want to understand why it's so important. Well, in HubSpot, in which many of you probably don't know this, but Advent Trinity is a HubSpot partner, right? And HubSpot says you have this marketing flywheel, right? And most of us are trained about the funnel. We've heard about the funnel, but the thing about the funnel is that it stops somewhere. With a flywheel, it's just never revolving, right? It just never stops. It keeps on spinning and spinning, spinning. And that's kind of what you want to think about your business is, how do we automate this where it consistently grows our business? And the way we think about it is lead generation. So let's talk about lead generation. Well, lead generation, first, you're going to reach out to strangers and you're going to attract those strangers. Some way, some fashion, you've got to get in front of strangers by attracting them with some sort of message, okay? And then the conversion starts when you start to engage. They start to engage with your website. They start to engage with your business, whether that's fill out a form, whether that's call you, whether that's chat with you through the website, some sort of fashion. They're engaging, maybe even thinking not even just the website, right? Let's think about Facebook, whether they're messaging you directly on Facebook through your business or personal, whether they referred and they're calling you from referral, it doesn't matter, right? They're prospects, right? They become, which are trying to convert into customers. And then after they convert, everybody loves the conversion, right? They convert into customers and everybody's like, ooh, we're growing our business. But how do we excite the customer to become promoters? And you know what promoters do, right? They give you more leads, they give you more referrals. So how do we do that? How do we get this flywheel of lead generation, conversions, and margins? Lead generation, conversions, and margins. So the first thing you got to do is you got to have a strategy. All right. A lot of people, when they go into this, they're like, okay, I'm going to build a website. And we're gonna put a form on there, and we're just gonna let it go. And that's not always the case. This is why there's a lot of testing and measuring when it comes to marketing, a ton of testing and measuring, because some things may work actually, 3 months, and then after 3 months, it's like, what the heck's going on? And this happens a lot. So if this has ever happened to in your business where, you've gone 3 months and things are great, and then 3 months later, it's like, what is going on? Well, it's because you have to adjust everything about your marketing strategies. Things have to adjust every quarter. Okay, every quarter, and you're going to get an Excel sheet, and you'll notice in this Excel sheet that that gives you kind of like a budget plan for you to budget for the year. You'll notice that your budget is broken up by quarter. All right. So it's broken up by quarter. Why? Because every single 3 months, for every 3 months, you have to adjust. You have to move money around, kind of like the stocks, right? But you also have to think about what's on the website, what's on your landing page, what's on social media. Okay. So let's take a look into this. How do you set up a strategy? Well, if you're doing lead qualification, right? What is it that you're providing? What information are you providing to qualify these leads? Okay. What are you doing to answer questions? Because if you're doing it correctly, somebody, and think of it this way, you too are consumers as well. If you as a consumer are going to a website, what is going to make you want to fill out that form? Well, one, if you go and there's enough content that answers enough questions, you feel comfortable enough to put your information on that website, right? That credibility. So let's go down this funnel and how to get them to schedule a sales call or consultation or contact you, right? First off, what are your content assets? If you look at this, let me put this drawing circle. If you look over here, in this area right here, the content assets, okay? Are you blogging? What kind of content is in the blogs? What's in the top of the funnel? How are you establishing? Are you doing any kind of market callouts? Market callouts is like if you go to the website and the first thing they see is, for instance, our industry, web design, search engine optimization, social media marketing. Hey, if a consumer was Googling that and that's what they were looking for, boom, they're in the right spot. But let's say they were Googling web design, not web design, search engine optimization. Let's just say they were Googling sales or increasing sales, and they go to the front page, and the first thing they see is web design, search engine optimization, social media marketing. They might not connect, and the reason why is because that's not what they were looking for. That's why we call it a market call out, because you want to make sure that whatever content is on the front page of that landing page, make sure to let the user know that they're in the right spot. Okay, introducing your position. We look at this the new lead generated, introducing your position. What makes you different? And I see Dale on here, and Dale Walter used to be one of my action coach. And what he taught me was a very valuable lesson, and I use it to this day. And it's not my content, it's Action Coach's content, but it's called a unique selling point, okay? What makes you different? We call that a unique selling point. Does your content on your website separate you from somebody else? Okay, and I see some people in here from all kinds of different industries, from MLMs to franchises. So let's say that you're an agent. If you're an agent, an insurance agent, for instance, there's a ton of insurance agents out there. There's a ton of real estate agents out there. Why should I do business with you? And that's what you need to do in when they hit your page. So don't think about, hey, I'm just going to do a bunch of ads. Is my website, is my landing page, is any of my material of what's on my marketing material, all the content that's on my marketing material, separating me? What's making me different? So once again, you're introducing your positioning, and then you're addressing common sales questions. I like to put frequently asked questions on landing pages or even on websites immediately, because it answers those questions that a lot of people have immediately. And that's some of the things that, people miss out is I have, especially if they're Googling or they're searching, even if on social media, they're searching for something and they're searching for answers. And if you can answer those questions, right, they will feel confident and comfortable enough to start to communicate with you, right? So you have to address the common sales questions, provide products, and we're going down the funnel, right? We're providing products and service information. Does your website or social media or whatever platform that you're marketing on, does it give enough information about the service and products, right? And we're not saying, hey, throw them everything, but does it give them enough, just enough to get the sales call or get the consultation? Does that make sense? Like, does it answer just enough? Address pushbacks, because trust me, everybody here who's ever had to sell has had to overcome objections. Well, guess what? Your website's no different. Your social media is no different. Any of your marketing material is no different. And let me kind of give you some advice. So a lot of people are like, what is marketing? Sales is a kind of like one-to-one sale. Like, hey, I'm going to convince this one person. But marketing is selling to 1,000, millions, thousands of people, right? How is your marketing? If your marketing is kind of like whether that's a flyer or a pen or whatever, how is your marketing helping your positioning, and how is it addressing pushback to help you as a salesperson go ahead and get the sale, right? So once you start to plan out, okay, I'm looking at the overall arching, the overall aspect of my marketing material. It's what am I actually providing that's going to lead up to the sales call and consultation or giving them a call or filling out a form. It doesn't matter. But a lot of people are like, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and put a form up there and, throw some ads and hope to God something sticks. And a lot of times, a lot of people fail because there's just not enough content or not enough information, or the content is there, just not persuasive enough. Something is off. And we've seen it a lot of times is something is always off, and we have to figure out, is it the messaging on the ads or is it the messaging on the conversion tools? And what we mean by conversion tools, the website, the social media form, whatever it may be, is it answering questions or is there something wrong with the ad? Okay. So let's set the stage. All right. Setting the stage is making sure that whatever you're doing, you are having a lead magnet. Okay. What I mean by lead magnet, it's magnetic. It is convincing enough to capture somebody's information. You are making sure that there is no delay. Speed is everything. And you're making sure you're getting straight to the point, especially when it comes to digital marketing, which is why a lot of you are on this call because of digital marketing. Is it clear and concise? And let me tell you something. A lot of people fail on this. And the reason why is because they want to give a lot of information, but too much too quickly. But the thing about social media, think about Google, is it's in the, it's just a click away, right? And they want consistent. I mean, they want quick. They want answers now, right? And then finally, call to action, which is called CTA. Have a fast, clean website. It is important and a lot of people overpass this because they're not thinking the way we think. If your website isn't fast, it's pretty much not going to do anything. Speed is everything. Page speed is so important to users because faster pages are more efficient to provide a much better on-page user experience. Now, that's the technical definition of why something needs to be quick. But think about it. Have you ever visited a website and it's crazy. 5 years ago, this wasn't a problem because, even 10 years ago, right, when the internet first came out, everybody's like, all right, well, but now it's like we're so dependent. We're so dependent on Google and social media, and we want answers now, right? Our patience has grown so thin, right? But we want answers now. Well, guess what? The rest of the world wants. That's how we've been trained now. The rest of society wants answers now. So if your website isn't loading less than 2 seconds, then you have a major problem. You're going to have a major conversion problem. Okay. So, actually, let me see if I can kind of find this. And I'm going to put this in the chat here. Well, anyways, let's move on. There is a website. Just Google it. Test page speed. Okay, and I think it's GT Metrics, which is what we use. And I'll go ahead and put that in here. I can't find the URL, but it's called GT Metrics. Okay. And GT Metrics, you put your URL in there, and it tells you how quick or how fast your website is. And if it's not loading less than 2 seconds, you have a huge problem. And we should definitely talk, okay? Or talk to somebody. It doesn't have to be us. Just talk to somebody. Some of you might have to talk to your IT department and say, hey, what's going on my website? But that's super important, okay? So make sure that you're testing your URLs to see if your website is loading as fast as possible, is it clear and concise? Many of you have gone to our in-person elevator pitch training, and those who have networked, you go networking, you have 30 seconds to kind of pitch your business. But in reality, you only have 10 seconds to capture somebody's, thought process and saying, okay, I'm going to remember that. Most of the time in all marketing, the first 2-3 seconds matters. The rest of it is just gibberish, right? But they're going to remember parts of your commercial. They're going to remember parts of your marketing. They're going to remember your business. They're going to remember, X, Y, Z. Well, the same with the website, and the same with the landing pages, the same with all videos, and same with all marketing is, can we capture somebody's attention very quickly and buy us some time? Now, when I taught elevator pitch training to teach people how to do an elevator pitch, which is a commercial, a 30-second commercial, I always told people the first 3 seconds is to buy the rest of the 27. Okay, you have 3 seconds to say, boom, I'm here. Hey, listen to me. And then after those 3 seconds, you've hopefully done your job just enough to buy the rest of the 27. So the same thing with the website. So when you're doing the market call out, have a market call out, inspiring businesses to grow. So that's a market call out. And we are calling out to businesses that want to grow. That's a market call out right here. And if you can't see it, I'll go ahead and draw it. Okay. It is right there. Okay. And inspiring businesses to grow. That's a market call out, just so you know, if anybody's wondering what a market call out is. But it's talking to business owners who are wanting to grow their business. Okay, well, business, inspiring business to grow. What is that all about? Scroll. Okay, I bought myself another 10 seconds. What does the next thing say? What is it? Do I have a video, right? And I always tell people to do that. Put a video on the second bar so we can buy some more time. And this also, affects your search engine optimization, because the more people that are on the website, the longer they are on the website, the higher you start to rank on Google. And everybody knows the higher you start to rank on Google, the more clicks you're going to get. The more clicks you're going to get, hopefully, the more conversions you're going to get. Okay. Well, long story short, right? Clear and concise. You have to buy enough time, because if you look at your Google Analytics, which I hope some of you are, if you're looking at the analytics of your website and people aren't on your website for a very long time, let's just say they're on your website for less than 30 seconds, your website is very irrelevant. One, either it's very irrelevant, or two, you're attracting the wrong traffic. You're not even targeting the right people. Okay. So that's why it's so important to be very clear and concise, because people want to know that they're in the right place immediately. They don't want to go, I hate searching for things. I hate researching. I want to answer now, and maybe it's because I'm a millennial. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure the rest of us are being trained that way. Well, the rest of the world is just, the numbers don't lie when it comes to analytics. The rest of the world is the same. They want answers now. So make sure that you have whatever is the first thing that's on your website. It's clear, it's concise, and it's to the point, but it tells people you're in the right spot. Scroll down to read more. Okay, here's a big one, because none of this matters anymore unless your website's mobile friendly. And here's the crazy part. A lot of businesses are not mobile friendly. Google has made a algorithmic change in their website. Google has made a change in their algorithm that if it's not mobile friendly, you're not even going to rank anymore. And the primary reason why this has actually happened is because it used to be 67%. It keeps on going up. It's like 70. Some of the people, some of my clients, 70, 75% mobile. So the majority of their users, if it's not mobile friendly, they're not even going to rank you anymore. And if you think about it, most of the people that are on social media, on Facebook, they're on their phone, and then they see an ad, they click, boom. Millennials, Gen Zers, same thing. And then, older generation, shoot, I'm going to say how it is. My grandmother's on her phone, but she doesn't even have a laptop. She just has a phone. So we can't even age discriminate because now it's just a standard. So if your website isn't mobile friendly, you might as well not even run ads to it. Okay. So Google's now requiring it. And, everybody knows if Google requires it, you need it now. Right. I see a question. Why is it? I wanted an email, phone number, a service company. Why is? I'll answer your question here shortly, William. What at the very end of this webinar. All right, so add conversion tools to your website. Okay, so conversion tools isn't when you're thinking of conversion tools. Don't just think I'm going to put a form. You have to think about a lot of things when it comes to the conversion tools. You have to think what kind of users are going to my website, okay? And there's specific things that you put on your website in specific places to attract users in different target markets to start engaging, okay? Some people like to fill out the form. They want you to call back. That's just how they are. They don't want to spend time calling. They just put their information in and they said, I'll let that person call me, leave a voicemail. And by the way, I have this happen all the time where clients are like, well, I get a lot of calls and I call them back and they don't answer. And I ask them, did you leave a voicemail? And they said no. And then they start leaving voicemails and guess what? They start making sales. Crazy how that works. That's a different webinar for a different day. It's called Sales 101. I'll probably do a webinar about that. But that's not the point. Make sure that you have forms on your website. But let's talk about the forms because a lot of people are, they're like, well, I just want phone numbers. Well, what they don't realize is you drive all this traffic to the website and it's first and last name, email, phone number, and you start to get a lot of spam. Well, then, it's not very good for your business. Okay. So you have to think about your forms and you have to think about what do you want? The more information you ask on a form, the better quality. The less you ask on your website on that form, the less quality, more quantity. So you have to think, do I want quantity or quality? I like quality. That's just me personally, because I am in a marketing agency and marketing agencies tend to get spammed a lot by freelancers, looking to put their blogs on their websites or looking to outsource their search engine optimization. Believe it or not, we get spammed like crazy. So what we do is put some pre-qualification tools on there to pre-qualify them and to, hopefully discourage spammers not to fill out the form. So that's just us, but it might not be that way for you. So that's why, once again, you have to think about this. What kind of information do I need? How many leads am I getting? Which I'll get you guys an Excel sheet to kind of go through that. You have to fill this out. And if you're a business owner and you don't have a marketing team or somebody internally filling this out, you have to, because you have to figure out where your investments need to go. And I know Brett Bell would love to, Brett Bell's from, a bank that's on this webinar. It's all about investment, right? So you have to know where your investment is going. And those who are business owners, you are on here. You're all investors. You've invested time and money. So we've got to make sure that we know where that money is going. Chatbots. A lot of people are like, Brian, I don't like chatbots because it is, it's very informal. It doesn't have to be informal. Now, chatbots, if you program them correctly, or the way you want it, some program it where it does the entire lead generation all the way to the sale. I mean, there's some very advanced artificial intelligence out there that is helping business owners kind of pre-qualify leads straight through the chatbot. And then there's others that, hey, we want to pre-qualify them before they talk to us. Okay. And that's how I like it. I like to pre-qualify our users and saying, okay, what is it that you're looking to do? Hey, I would like to take advantage of this offer. I'm looking for web design. Here's my phone number, email, and now you're passed on to a representative. And that's how a lot of businesses are doing it nowadays. The chatbot is kind of like a secretary before they get to the actual person, right? And then you have the exit subscribe button. Okay, here's the deal. A lot of people are like, I hate the exit subscribe button. Man, that thing generates more leads than anything else. And here's the reason why the exit subscribe button generates more leads. Most of the time, in fact, I believe it's 92% of people won't interact on the first visit of the site. But if you offer something of value before they leave, most of the time they're like, okay, first name and email, fine, I'll put that in. And then you can kind of do email marketing campaigns to either educate a user that's come to your website, or offer them specials, or all kinds of stuff, right? But the exit subscribe button is a very, very powerful tool if you have the right content, okay? And you have to do your research on your users to figure out how to get them to fill out the form. I know I have one client that education doesn't mean anything, right? Because it's like a very straight to the point service type business. So what we do is an exit out strategy to get a free quote. And so they'll exit out saying, hey, look, listen, wouldn't you like a free quote? Wouldn't you like a second opinion? It costs you nothing. Fill out the form and we'll go out to your business or house and do an inspection, right? I'm trying to give an example without giving away the business. But that's what I mean. Sometimes it is a get a free quote. Others, in my industry, it's education. It's just educating a user on getting some tips on what does it take to become to get more leads or get more business to your business. And a lot of people don't make decisions on marketing agencies immediately because, and let's just face it, marketing agencies, marketers, they're like roofers nowadays, right? So you want to make sure you're doing right business with the right person, and whoever's marketing your business is taking care of your business. So I get it. I completely understand it, which is why our business model is more of education, and as information leads to business. Other business models, you got to think about your industry. Some people are like, hey, I need this thing fixed now. Maybe I'm not in the right spot, get a free quote. What is it going to hurt me if I get a second opinion? That kind of thing. Okay, so we have the website, we have the conversion tools. Make sure you have a customer relation management system. This isn't just because we're HubSpot partners. We've seen this after doing this for 3.5 years, almost 4 years now. We have seen this countless times. We've had customers, a lot of customers, come to us and saying, hey, my leads aren't qualified or XYZ. Here's the deal. You have to track what your users are doing, what kind of data you're gathering, what your ad spend is, what your ROI is. You have to track also how your sales team is contacting those leads and what is converting, what's not converting. And the only way to do that is knowing how many leads are coming in, how many calls or emails have been sent out. If more calls or emails have been sent out on one prospect, the quality of lead isn't there. But let's say that it only takes one contact to close a sale. You're starting to say, okay, this makes sense. What I'm doing right now is perfect marketing strategy. Are you tracking the calls? And this is another tool you guys could think about too, is I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat here. It's called CallRail. If you haven't heard of it, that's not how you spell that. CallRail, if you haven't heard of it, which is what I use a lot to track how many calls are coming from Google, how many calls are coming from Facebook ads, how many calls are coming from just the website alone, how many coming from organic search. You can track all kinds of stuff. But it's important if you're a call-based business, if you are a call-based business and people are calling you, know where that's coming from, because they're not going to fill out a form. And then taking that information and making sure you're putting it into your CRM, which is your customer relation management. You have to have some sort of lead center. Okay. And a lot of people they want the leads, they want the forms, but how are they tracking? How are they following up? How are they tracking the journey of this and stages of those leads and customers. That's where the big fall off is, because a lot of people and a lot of business owners don't understand is marketing isn't just, hey, I'm going to get a lead generation. Marketing is the entire process of your business. That's what marketing truly is all about. It's the entire process of your entire business. The more you attract strangers, the more they engage, the more customers you get. Here's the crazy part. The more customers you get and the more customers you satisfy, the more promoters you get. The more promoters you get, the more referrals you get. So you have referrals and you have incoming leads, and those leads start to increase. And eventually, before you know it, you have more leads coming in than you can handle, hopefully. Now, I know that, there are some years, specifically things that happen, just like COVID, that are unexpected. In 2008, the real estate market, right, crashed. Things that you can't really control that affect the market. Obviously, it's not going to be 10 times forever, but at least we can get you to a point where you can stabilize, right? And then also, people don't just buy on the first visit, and we'll talk about that too. Some people are shopping around. All right. Directory listings. So most people, when we first introduced this and talked about this in some of our presentations, this was taken lightly because they didn't really understand. But now it's such a big deal. It's grown to be a big deal because more and more people are doing business on Google My Business, not just search engine optimization where they're ranking on a specific search phrase. Now they're looking into your reviews. They're investigating into your company. They're looking at your business on Facebook. They're looking on your business on Instagram. Well, if you're not listed correctly on the internet properly, you're going to lose a lot of business. You are, because it's inconsistent. And everybody knows the name of the game when it comes to marketing is consistency. Okay? So I have a question for everybody on this call and everybody listening that during the replay, because we're going to have this up for the next 24 hours, is, are you listed correctly on the internet? And if you're not, you need to go ahead and go to our website, adventure.com, and see if you're listed on the internet. And if you're not, and let's just say that you are starting business. Guys, if you're a starting business, it's so easy. Go to business.google.com. Okay, or even Google My Business, get yourself listed, put yourself on Facebook, put yourself on Bing, put yourself on Instagram, start the listing process. But if you're in that position of your business where you're trying to kind of grow, you're in the scaling phase of your business, you need to see, are you listed correctly on all search engines, and make sure that it's consistent. It's not going to go away. And the thing about all these search engines is that they're all technology. They're all platforms. They're all softwares, and they do updates. Okay. And if your information is not consistent enough, those who are consistent are going to start ranking higher than you. Okay. You have to make it easier for customers to find you no matter what platform they're on. So if they're searching you on Google, they can find you. If they're searching you on Bing, they can find you. Now, artificial intelligence, Alexa, hey Alexa, or hey Siri, before my phone goes off, right? Or my computer. Find me the nearest, find me the nearest gas station. Are you popping up? Those kinds of things. So those who kind of are kind of like, what is a directory listing? This is the best analogy I've ever came across when it comes to our directory listings. And it's funny because everybody remembers Yellow Pages. Well, guess what, guys? Yellow Pages has not gone away. It's actually right there. Yeah, they are also a digital listing. But back in the day, if you remember Yellow Pages, it was everybody would buy these gigantic Yellow Page books, right? And we pay money to be put in this listing so people would, these would get passed out in the local neighborhood, and then people would go through if they needed some sort of service, whether that's AC repair, roofing, whether that's plumbing, and they would go and they would call through the Yellow Page book, right? Well, nowadays, People are Googling, and everybody kind of knows that. But people aren't just Googling; they're trying to find a way. And some people don't know better. Some people don't even know that they're on Internet Explorer and they're actually on Bing, right? So some people are like, "Hey, let me get this going." Some people don't realize that they're on a Windows or an Internet Explorer instead of Google Chrome, and they're searching through Bing. They don't know the difference. Well, guess what? Most people are so focused on Google, they don't realize, hey, I need to be listed everywhere. I need to be where somebody can just Google me and they could find me instantly. Okay. All right. So enough about the basics. That's right. That right there. A lot of people have heard that multiple times. What you're really on here for is the lead, how to get traffic to your website. You have to have the forms. You have to be listed. It's just very repetitive, and I get it, but it's extremely important before you get to this. A lot of people, they want to jump straight into this without looking into their entire infrastructure of their business. They want to go straight into their advertisement before setting up the tools, and that's extremely not the thing to do. Okay, so running Google Ads. Okay, first off, if you are new to Google Ads, here's kind of like the crash course to Google Ads. Okay, the first thing is there's multiple types of ads on Google, and we're going to go through these. There's search ads, YouTube ads, shopping ads, programmatic display ads, and then remarketing ads. Okay, your job is that in every business, everybody's different. Okay, if I'm in fashion, I'm not going to do search ads. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to do YouTube shopping ads or programmatic display ads. Okay. If I am a plumber, I'm definitely going to do search ads and local ads because people are searching or looking for a contractor immediately. They need something fixed now. So that's what's kind of the thing I would be doing. And what I mean search ads is I'm paying to be on top of the fold. If I Google the nearest plumber near me, boom, I pop up first. Okay. Here's the thing about search ads, though. Search ads, there's 3 different types of search ads. Okay, there's broad match, there's phrase match, and then there's exact match. Okay, and some people don't realize that there's 3 different types of matching in search ads. So let's go through these. If you have a notepad, you want to pull this out so that you kind of understand Google a little bit more. So broad match is you put in a keyword and Google is going to do like a broad. If I put in, web design, it could be all kinds of things like nearest web, free web design, how to build a website, those kinds of things. If I do phrase match, I want to have something as, a web design company. I didn't put company in there, but I did put web design, and I'm putting that phrase match. Exact match is if somebody puts in literally web design in the search bar, I am going to try to pop up. And I mean try, it's because it all depends on budget, A, and B is how you're bidding. Okay. And this might actually go top, be a little bit complicated, but I'm hoping you guys can kind of understand what this all means. Okay. So those are the 3 types of matching of keywords. Okay. YouTube ads. When you're doing YouTube ads, you're really doing it kind of more of like a demographic or some sort of behavior interest. That's what you're targeting, okay? You're doing more of a brand awareness. Shopping ads, it's just how it sounds, right? You're doing shopping ads, so if somebody Googles a purse, you pop up, it says, you click on the shopping tab, and it's like, hey, look, there's a purse near you. It's only $10. Click on it. It takes you to your website to purchase. Programmatic display ads. Programmatic display ads is you're popping up on other people's blogs. Also, I like to use programmatic display ads a lot for apps. If you have an app that somebody's trying to download or you're selling an app, if you're, for instance, or delivery, many of you have heard of it. We program display ads so that it pops up on Apple and Google so that people can download. That's a display ad. And then remarketing or retargeting is what I like to call it, is ways to get people to come back, right? If they click on your website and you click on G tag, you put a G tag on your website, you track their cookies, which is basically their history. If they don't clear their cache, or if they're not on incognito mode, we can track them on different blogs that they go to or different websites. So those are the different types of Google ads. Well, if you notice, those are multiple different types of ads. Now you have to determine in your industry what makes sense, okay? Because some ads don't make sense for specific industries. And you've got to think about, okay, if I'm going to plan out my ads, I've got to think about what's going to make sense. So when working with the Google ads, I do highly recommend working with a professional. And here's why. Because advertising is a skill of bidding. And many of you that have gone through Google know this, right? You've gone through Google. You know that the budget is about bidding. Just because you have more budget doesn't mean that Google is going to make you pop up more. Sometimes you have to adjust your bidding strategy. So this is why I always recommend working with a professional, is because at the end of the day, advertisement is a risk. So is business. Business is a risk. It's an investment, and all investments have risk. But advertising is a big gamble, and it is a big gamble because you're bidding. And I don't mean to scare anybody on this call, but you're bidding. You're bidding your way to the top, or you're bidding your way to or outbidding your competitors so that you show up in front of your competitors. Okay. Now, why is this so important when you're doing your ads? Is because if you want to 10 times your leads, you've got to know what your competitors are spending. You've got to know what your competitors are spending. You got to know what they're bidding on so that you can outbid them, whether that's specific time zones, specific locations, specific zip codes. There's always a way to outbid your competitors. You just got to figure out how to do it. And then you can pop up first, have people click on your website, and hopefully your website, on the slides before, was set up correctly enough for them to fill out the form or give you a call. Okay, but at the end of the day, the analogy I always play with is if Google doing advertising on even Facebook or Google, it doesn't matter, doing any type of advertising, you are walking into a casino. You are walking into a casino, and there's all kinds of games. So let's just put an analogy. You've got the blackjack, which is let's just say Google. You have roulette, which is like YouTube, and then you have we don't even count the machines because you can't control the machines, right? That's just playing against the odds. But any kind of card game, there's a way. For instance, blackjack, it's illegal, but you can count the cards, right? If you're really good at statistics. The same thing here. It's a very statistical game. It's a game of statistics at the end of the day. You have to think of your ads as statistics, and you have to figure out how to outbid your competitor so that you can get more leads to your website. More traffic to your website, which in return turns into leads. Hopefully, if it's quality, once again, you have to make sure that the keywords are matching. You have to make sure that your bidding strategy is matching. All of that takes an effect on how to get quality candidates, quality users to your website to get them to fill out a form. All right, let's go to the next slide here. Here we go. Okay, everybody's always asked me, if in specific industries, should I do Facebook or should I do Google? Here's the deal. I'm telling all of my clients, and I'm telling everyone, you've got to have multiple avenues. Okay, many of you that are on this call are networking. Guess what? That's a part of marketing. And you're not just networking, you are also doing Google ads, you're doing telemarketing, you're doing something outside of networking. Well, guess what? In digital marketing, it's the same way. Do not throw all your money in one basket. I highly recommend doing social media because social media ads is the number one way to accelerate referral-based marketing. What I mean by referral-based marketing is referrals. if your customers and clients or even people you network are on Facebook and they see your ads, you're probably going to get more Facebook referrals or referrals in general. Okay. But knowing your audience is very important too. Audit does a ton of Facebook marketing. And the reason why is because about 69% of adults use Facebook. Although 25, 34-year-olds make up the greatest number of users on the platform, Facebook still has the widest age range of active users on the platform. In fact, 62% of online seniors ages 65 plus are on Facebook. Now let's talk about these numbers. The reason why Avid Trinity uses Facebook a lot is because 25, 34 and up, that's our age group. Most business owners are in that age group. If you're on, if we're targeting house owners, you probably need to be on Facebook because that's kind of the age group that they're in. Due to the fact Facebook ads allows you to reach audience members who haven't liked your page, you can see why the platform is such a popular. This has just come from HubSpot, right? To market on, and you kind of read this. You can actually go through HubSpot and go through their blogs, but Facebook is so huge in 25 and up. So 25 and up, and let's exclude all the politics because I get this all the time. What about the politics that have happened on Facebook? Everybody's still using Facebook, guys. The numbers has not dropped, and most people that are using Facebook right now to still market their business are still getting leads through it. So don't follow politics in business. Business and politics they don't match. Okay. Instagram. Now Instagram is more of like 18 to 24. You still have 25 to 29-year-olds on there, but the majority are 18 to 24. This is really, once again, you want to do social media ads one way or another, okay? And I am actually running out of time, guys. I apologize. LinkedIn ads. LinkedIn ads are more professional, So LinkedIn is huge if you're like recruiting. That's a big, because a lot of people that are looking for jobs are actually on LinkedIn. And I actually have some of my clients that are, if you're doing like continuous education, it needs to be on LinkedIn. Snapchat is a huge one too. Snapchat is if you're targeting, anywhere from 13 and up. So if you have like a retail product, shoes, watches, things like that, you're going to want to be on Snapchat. And then here's the number one thing that I recommend when it comes to any kind of advertising is if you do not have a retargeting strategy, you will fail. And the reason why is 92% of people who visit your website are not yet ready to purchase. That's a big number. So here's what I suggest you do. Google how to put a Google G tag on your website. Google how to put a Facebook pixel on your website. Install those into your website or landing pages. Make sure they're set up so that you can specifically have an ads budget designated to target those who have not decided to purchase from you yet. And follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, follow them on different blogs. Follow them so that they don't forget you, because people will forget you. Okay, and that's the biggest thing. You want to be unforgettable. When you're unforgettable, they will come back and they will call you, or they will refer you business one way or another. So here's the deal. You have to create a quarterly ads budget. Driving traffic is a huge deal. So as promised, I'm going to share you guys something here. It's paid ads budget. I went ahead and shared it to you. It's in the files section. So there's 3 files that I have graciously given to you guys today. Click on the file section, okay? And then in this browser here, you can go ahead and download these 3 things. I'm giving you guys a free business plan template. I'm giving you guys a paid ads budget template, an Excel sheet, and a traffic leads conversions tracking Excel sheet. Now, if you are watching this after this, unfortunately, you're going to have to visit our website and contact us to get this information. So if you're watching this at home after this webinar, contact us at adventtrinity.com. That's ADVENT, Trinity.com. Go to our website. and then click on that chat button at the bottom, fill out the form, and we will give you some of this information. Okay. All right. So here are the files. Moving on. So investment is important, guys. Investing is important, and investing is a skill and a strategy. And you can't just go in heads dive and just pay, I'm going to do $1,000 on Google. You want to make sure that you're balancing and you're putting money in specific different types of avenue. I wouldn't just do search. I wouldn't. I would maybe do a little bit of search, a little bit of local, which local on Google involves you having a video, and maybe even just a little bit on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so people just don't forget you. So here's the deal. Since we've ran out of time, and I see a lot of people, I know you guys are busy people, you guys are business people, this is what I'm going to offer everyone. If you're interested and you need some help with your marketing, we would love to do a free audit of your digital presence. What we'll do is we'll scan your website. We'll see how you're doing on search engine optimization. What I mean by search engine optimization is your website even optimized correctly to be on search engines? Are you ranking on any keywords? How fast is your website? Is it mobile friendly? The scan will do that instantly. It will check your social media, see how that's doing. It'll also check your competitors and see how you rank, not just on search engine optimization, but all aspects. How are you doing against your competitors? And it'll give you some free recommendations. This tool is pretty advanced. If you're interested in doing this, we'd love to talk to you. So visit our website, eventree.com. You can do that free digital scan. And for those that are still on this call, here's a little offer for you guys. Let me go ahead and do this. Oh, it's in the offer section. There you go. So if you are on this call, click on the offers button, click on free online report, and it's going to take you to a page to go ahead and fill out the report. So thank you guys for joining us. I know that was a little bit more in depth on the advertisement, but it's because Google advertisement is a lot more complex than a lot of people think. Facebook advertisement, you can kind of get away with doing ads through your Facebook business page. But there's a lot more advanced tactics and strategies you're going to need to do. But the number one thing, and here's the number one thing you need to take away from this webinar. If you're asking me, how do I 10 times my leads? Number one, set yourself up, set the stage, go back through it, make sure you have the conversion tools, make sure you have the CRM. And number two, you have to drive as much traffic as possible to your business. That's the only way you're going to multiply the amount of leads you're getting to your business. So if you have a budget, you need to raise that budget every quarter. One way or another, every quarter, that budget needs to go up. Okay. Every year, your budget needs to be 2 times as much as the year before. Okay. You have to get to a certain point where your advertising is enough. Think about it. The big corporations, and I know you guys are small businesses, but big corporations, they spend $250,000 every quarter on just marketing advertising. Why? Because that's what it takes to multiply their business by 10. That's what it takes to double their sales. So think about it. And it's not, if you're working with a marketing expert, that marketing budget doesn't just go to the marketing agency. It doesn't. Guess what? We have to pay Facebook. We have to pay Google. We have to pay these third parties to get us what we need. So that's why I gave you guys an Excel sheet to kind of budget your advertising, and it's a free resource for you guys. Once again, if you are listening to this after, message us, and we would definitely be more than happy to give you that Excel sheet. So thank you for tuning in. Once again, my name is Brian. I'm the Vice President of Retargeting Marketing Agency, and I'll see you next time.